And I'll share the screen. Okay. Om Pranaya Namo.
Om Pranaya Namo.
Yasya Sarvamidam Vashe.
Yasya Sarvamidam Vashe.
Yo Bhutah Sarvasyeshvaro.
Yo Bhutah Sarvasyeshvaro.
Yasmin Sarvam Pratishtitam.
Yasmin Sarvam Pratishtitam.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
So, are there any questions from last time?
Yeah, I was in the middle of asking a question, but then it's kind of gone. So we'll continue.
Okay, so we'll see if somebody else has. In the meantime, if you recollect,
Yeah.
we can take it up in between also.
I have not completely digested the whole thing because it's, I think, quite tough. But I do have one question that came to my mind. See, when you are talking about the mind and the heart and the brain, okay, you are saying that in that particular piece, you are saying that the prana or it's in the mind and not in the heart. So you are saying that heart phrase can be split into two and say that it is. Why do we have to do that? Because today we know people can be brain dead, but the soul is still there. So if you think the soul is connected to the brain and not to the heart, that becomes difficult. So why don't we simply accept that the soul is in the heart rather than trying to split or give two meanings to that word?
So
because if
I
do
got
that,
your...
you're okay.
So see this. Even in the heart, if you accept the soul to be in the heart, then a person can actually be, the heart can stop beating and you can apply that current which is there and revive the heart, or even put a pacemaker and revive the heart. So it's as if, almost the person had died and now you have brought back the person. But once breathing has stopped, even if you put a ventilator, it cannot be revived. A ventilator works till the time that your breathing is difficult. So if you are wheezing or you don't have enough pressure, then the ventilator can help increase the volume of air that you are exchanging. But
here you are talking about prana. Okay, here you are talking about prana. But prana, I'm saying, correct. Why don't we take it that the soul is in the heart rather than the brain?
So your thing about why the soul should be taken in the, it's not brain. Right to accept the soul in the brain. I'm countering that by saying this, by the same logic, it is not correct to accept the soul in the heart as well. Because even in the heart, if the heart stops, you can revive it. So by your logic, if just like a brain dead person is still alive, similarly a heart dead person is also still alive or can be brought to life. Of course, the period for the heart is a little smaller. For the brain dead person, it's like little bit longer, in the sense the brain functions might get hampered, but the the lower brain and the mid brain, they get affected with great difficulty. So your heart supply, blood supply in the brain has to be dead for a longer time before the body dies. So the reason why I have told you that the soul is in the brain, actually in the mind, as you correctly said earlier, is because when we look at the transforms of nature, okay, the right thing to accept is that since the soul is so subtle, then it can only have some connection, though this connection is not a touching connection but a connection over a gap. It can be only with the subtlest form of nature which is available, and that is buddhi. Let me share something with you. You can see this chart order of creation, right?
Correct.
So here the first transform of nature is buddhi. Buddhi is intellect. Actually, even the mind comes lower. Buddhi is the one which is one of the subtlest forms of nature. So it is with buddhi that the soul connects. And heart, etc., are all formed with these 5 gross elements, including the brain is also made up of the gross elements. And so even if you take the mind, it is actually grosser than the intellect. So
I got yeah, the chart, actually I had not looked at this chart, sorry, but now I understand it better, that it's at the higher level. So here you're talking about buddhi and not brain as such.
No. Brain is made up of gross matter, which means made up of these Pancha Mahabhutas or Sthula Bhutas. That is Akash, Vayu, Tej, Jal and Prithvi. Okay.
But sorry for taking you off the track.
No, not at all. Good question. Then any other question is there? No. Okay. Let us have a recap.
So is there anything like
Yes.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Is there anything like some prana will function independently and some prana is interdependent? Some pranas are interdependent.
See, the main prana is supposed to be the one called prana. Okay. So since that is the one which is supposed to come and start action in your body, you can say all the other pranas are dependent on that prana. But really speaking, they are all the same. You know, it is again like the functioning of the intellect or the mind. We can split it into different, but that is more for our own understanding, rather than really there being any very hard line distinction between all of them. It is just that we don't understand everything in a very holistic way, so we split it up into parts which we can digest. Okay. Anything else is there? Let's have the recap then. So who wants to take up the first one, which is that Payu Paste Panam Chakshu Shrotre? That is the 5th.
I can take it up.
Yes.
The 5th verse, right? Yeah. Payupastepanam chakshushrotram mukhanasikabyam pranaha swayam pratisthate. So through the Payu upasta apanam. So apana is being talked about first. The downward force you can call apana kshamyatam. Apana, downward force. Payu upasta refers to the excretory and reproductive organs. So that force required to send out things there is called the apanas force, which is described as one element of the prana. Then chakshush netre mukanasikabhyam prana describes, in fact, the main prana, which is the genesis of the other four, is also a participant in a sense, and it is associated with the indriyas in a sense, saying giving the highest force to it as the indriya, and one who nourishes the indriyas. Okay, and so it stands itself to do the portion of the indriyas, especially the jnana indriyas. And then the middling force, basically we call it the digestive force in one way, is the samana force. So madhyetu samanaha pratisthate. Esha hi etad hutam annam samam nayati. So this samana force is the one that takes the energy of the consumed food equally everywhere as needed in every part of the body. Tasmad etaha saptarshisho bhavanti. So like you have correctly pointed out, from this there are 7 energies, or you can say flames further. That means there is a classification of this particular digestive energy just beyond the simple way in which it is described, but that detail is not available to us. Some other interpretations have given other not so relevant explanation of the saptarshi as the indriyas of the face, but because that is covered under prana, you conclude that this is more about samana and the 7 fires associated with digestion. Okay, Bhagini, this is I would say it is like, stomach, sorry, not digestion, even the carrying of
energies in general in the body, because digestion is the one which provides the basic energy, which then can be used by the cells to convert into any kind of energy, your muscular energy or your mental energy or anything.
Yes.
But
So
one point which you have to highlight more is that chakshu shrotre, what is it representative of other than the senses?
Jnanendriyas?
Jnanendriyas you told, but more than that.
Not able to.
These are the ones
which
sorry.
These are the ones which aid to our knowledge, rather, receiving the knowledge, and that's why we give more importance to chakshu and shrotra, because
that is true. That is true.
all the knowledge.
They are themselves representative of the Jnanendriyas, as Anuj pointed out, but they all are representative of the nervous system, that is including the functioning of the mind and the brain.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Manendriya. Manendriya.
Manendriya. Okay. Hridi hyesha atma atrayata ekashatam nadinam.
I would like to take this up.
Yeah.
So what the verse is saying is that in the heart is the soul, right? And here the heart actually means the brain and not the heart per se. So that is an interpretation that we have to go with. So in the heart is a set of 100 blood vessels, and each of these further has 100 branches, and they have 72,000 sub branches. So the total comes to 72 crore branches, which are actually passing through our physical body from the heart, from the brain actually. So
no,
one is the brain.
This one is
actually the heart. Yeah. The rest of it is the circulatory system that we have, which actually goes from the heart. Right?
Correct.
So in this the Vyan moves. So Vyan, Vya is for Vyapak. So it passes through the entire body through this system. So we are talking of the brain, and we are talking of the circulatory system, which is in which the Vyan, which is the 4th pran division, which moves. So that is verse number 6.
Correct. Okay. Then Athaya Urdhva Udanaha Punyena.
I can try.
Yeah,
I
I
could
can try.
take that.
Oh, Prashanti, you want to go ahead? No problem.
No, it's
Okay.
okay, Vidya. You came on first. I
Yeah,
will
you
hold
came
the
first,
time.
so you go ahead.
Okay, so then as she was talking about the heart and all the various ways, then there is
I think your
one
camera is
lesson that
not clear. You're coming
I'll
very.
switch it off.
No, but just you need to clean it, I think. It's blurred. Yeah.
I was looking, wondering why, what was happening. Anyway,
Go ahead.
I'll have to check it later, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, so this was one particular artery, like we said, it could be the carotid artery that actually supplies, blood. It goes upwards to the thing. It could mean that, but Udhana Vayu is the strength that thing goes, but Udhana is also the one that is responsible for carrying all your mana, indriya, everything dissolved into one, your whole soul into the next body. So this is like if you have done punya, then you go to the punya lok, and if you've done more papa, then you accordingly go to the lok. It takes you to wherever you go as your mind has done or has decided as such. So this Udhana Vayu is the one that is credited with moving all these things to the next.
Basically, so not as the man has decided,
Sharira,
but as it has done.
okay.
So
Performed.
it has decided.
Man has performed.
Yeah, performed. Okay. So Aditya, have Bhaya Prana. Prashanti, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I could take that up.
Yeah.
So here we are seeing Aditya is, if you take the Samishti view, Aditya is the Bahya Prana, like the, the prana that is within you is at the Vyashti view, whatever the prana that comes along with the soul into you. Aditya is the one which is also is the kind of a nimitta karana for all the pranas to sustain. So he is the prana at the Samishti view for all of us. Yeah. Also, it is equal. This prana is some. Though I could not relate to how it is only the samana, because you said the samana is between the akasha and prithvi, and this actually helps us with the gross matter. So that is something that
is apana.
Apana, sorry, apana. Samana is something that is equally distributed between the akasha and prithvi. In if you look at your own body, probably between the head and the nabhi region. So that is samana, and apana is the one which is used for the gross body. Though I did not understand how Aditya is related to samana and apana.
Aditya is not related to samana, no?
Yeah, no. Aditya is not related to samana and apana. One thing which you missed out is what is apana in the Bahya view. First, let us cover that.
It's Prithvi.
Prithvi, correct. So, Prithvi is the one which is related to apana. So, firstly,
right.
The Samashti and Vyashti views are a little loose. You cannot draw an exact parallel, but they are little loose parallels. So the Aditya is considered as a main prana because main prana is being considered as your real life force. Okay, every other prana is considered as subsidiary to this prana. So since the sun is your primary source of life, therefore it is equal to the main prana. Okay. Then apana, because it is related to even within your body the grosser functions and the grosser materials like your feces and other items. And Prithvi is also the grossest of all the Panch Mahabhutas. So therefore, the two are equated. Okay. Then you have samana. Samana now is there between prana, which is somewhere in this area, and apana, which is in the lower area, and then in the middle area, you have samana. So saman, because it distributes also equally. So the same way, this kind of antariksh is taking rays of light or whatever it is, and vayu is also sitting in that, which is actually the force which moves in the earth, just like vyana. So vayu is vyana because vyan distributes the energy by means of blood. So all the food that is digested enters your bloodstream, that consists of your sugars and carbohydrates, which now the cells can use for their energy processes. So that is why vayu is vyana, and the thing which is giving vayu that space is space.
So prana is related to Aditya. Now I kind of understood. Apan is related to Prithvi, that is, and then samana is equated to samana is Akasha, and Vyana is equated to Vayu, right? Space, and this is equated to Vayu.
So why he neglected Jala?
Correct. That's what I wanted to bring out today. That Jala has not come into this. So we have covered the.
Can you please repeat that again, because I just lost it.
Anuj was asking why has he neglected Jala. So Jala.
No, the earlier one, what Prashanti was talking about. Vyana is Vayu. Okay.
So
Akash is
so prana, apana, vyana, samana, udana is left out here. So prana is equated to Aditya, and apana is equated to Prithvi, and samana is equated to Akasha, vyana is equated to Vayu.
Okay. So let us cover the next verse, and then we will come back to Anuj's question. Okay, so Tejo, Hava, Udanas. Uma, you want to take it up?
Sorry, Putra, I did not have a chance to go to the commentary fully.
Okay. Somebody else wants to take it up? Tejo,
Hava. But
those who are unmuted are also silent. So let me unmute myself.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bhagini, Bhagini, sister.
I'll try, because not very clear. Okay. You want Anuj to take? I'm okay with that.
No. She wants you to take it up.
No, I don't want. I go with the first come, first serve. You came first.
I don't want to come between the sisters.
I'm backing
off. No, you're not coming. Anuj, go ahead.
Okay, I think finally I'll say that then.
Okay, go ahead.
No, Rajshri, please.
Okay, I was not very clear on this one. So what we are saying in this verse is that Udan hi tej hai, right? So it is that energy, like the tej in the external world, which is also, it represents warmth,
Correct.
One is light and then warmth. So when the body loses its heat, or when we die, so Udan is what takes, so the Indriyas go into, they merge with the Man, and that shrinks into the soul, and then the soul leaves the body. And Udan supports that. Is that what we are saying here?
No, the Indriyas merge into the Mana, and then the Mana merges with the Udana.
Okay. So Indriyas go to the Mana.
Sorry, with the soul. Sorry.
Yeah.
But actually it has to be read with the next one when it will become clearer. But Udan is the your heat generating processes which are there in the body. So therefore,
Okay.
when the soul leaves the body, it is because of Udana leaving the body that the body becomes cold.
Cool. Okay.
So here actually that two properties of light and heat are actually separated. One was the chakshu, when you see and all that, or the sun rises and it gives you the light. There we're looking at the light part of it, but here in Udhan we're looking at the energy generated by that.
Udana,
is that why
Udana.
Yeah. So is that why they were not able to accommodate the rasa, I mean that mahabhuta, like the liquid basically?
Yeah, so okay, first let me bring up the chart, all right? Chart has disappeared. Okay. So now if you see over here, if we look at the Mahabhutas, so Udan is Tej, and Vyan is Vayu, Saman is Akash, and Apan is Prithvi. So Jala is left out here. Instead of Jala, now we have taken Aditya. Okay. So now what you have to understand is that in the 8th Kandika, when we are talking about Prithvi and Akash, actually they are not these Mahabhutas. They are lokas. So we are talking of Dyulok, that is Aditya Lok, Prithvi Lok, and Antariksha Lok. And you must get this in your mind that these are the 3 lokas which are told by the Vedas. Other lokas might come up as yonis which are there, or say Jalaloka when you are wanting to refer to life in the water and so on. But anywhere where life can exist, number 1 is called Loka. And the 3 main lokas which are there, which are propounded by the Vedas, are Dyuloka, Prithvi Loka, and Antariksha Loka. Dyulok is all luminous bodies, Prithvi Lok is all illuminated bodies, non-luminous bodies, and Antariksha Loka is the space in between. So see, all of you would have read things in your own whatever religious studies that you do, and you would have read of some 7 Swarga Lokas and some 7 Patal Lokas and all that. So I would please request you that when you come to this class, because we are doing only Vedic studies here and Puranas are not considered, you will have to empty your glass a little bit, empty your cup. Okay, then only new ideas will come. Otherwise, you will keep facing resistance because you are reading 7 Swarga Lokas. Now, where do the 7 Swarga Lokas fit in this Dyulok, Prithvi Lok, and Antariksha Lok? They don't fit because I'm sorry to tell you this, but they are all nonsense. So that Swarga Lokas and Patal Lokas, you leave that part of your studies that side. Come here with an empty cup, then only you will gain the most. Otherwise, do the correlation once you go back if you can. I would suggest that don't try correlating because that is mythology. And there is a lot of nonsense which is there in that. You will not find science per se over there. If you find some science, good for you, but it is all mixed up. The grain and chaff is not separated. The grain is also there, chaff is also there. How much grain is there, how much chaff is there, nobody can say. Okay, so please, when you come here, come with an empty mind, you will learn the most. So now these are the 3 lokas which are being referred to and not the Mahabhutas. Then when we talk of Vayu, yes, that is a Mahabhuta which is being referred to, and the Tej is also Mahabhuta. So it's not correct to say that Jala only has been left out, but Akash and Prithvi have also been left out. Okay, So those were the three lokas, and then he is talking of two Mahabhutas which are there. So again, I'm telling you that this is an upama. So don't read too much into it. What he wants to tell you, why Aditya is equivalent to the prana in the body, that is what you must understand. Don't think that actually Aditya is prana only. It is not. It is the one which is the first creator of life. Just like prana is the first creator of life in the fetus. Okay, that is the similarity between the two, and that is why they are being said to be equivalent. Okay, clear? Shall we proceed?
Just a little bit of digression, Uttaraji. So Prithvi Lok, I understand where we all are, the embodied souls, right? And Dew Lok is probably what we read it as Surya Lok and Chandra Lok, like luminous bodies.
Yeah.
Where we discussed like some who did good karma probably go to Surya Lok, and are those who are illumined with knowledge, if I have to say, then they go to Surya Lok, and then
Muktatmas.
some Muktatmas go to
and some go to,
correct. So what is this Antariksh Lok? Which are the one? I mean, you also said these are all where the where different kind of bodies live. So Antariksh mein kaun rehte hain? Who occupies
this
that?
may be referring to Chandralok, but I cannot really answer your question very accurately. It may be Chandralok, which, as I told you earlier, is Swargalok, where there is no oxygen or anything. It is sitting in space. Okay, so you don't have beings which inhale oxygen and so convert energy and so on like that. But souls with their subtle bodies can live in such an environment. So they are living over there. So it may be that Chandralok is treated as Antariksha Lok. Or there may be some other form of life which is probable in space. I cannot really tell you, because I have no basis for telling you. Okay. So let's go into the next one. Yachittastenasha.
Yachittasthenesha
Pranamayati.
Pranamayati.
Pranastejasa yuktaha.
Pranastejasa
yuktaha.
Sahatmana.
Sahatmana.
Yatha sankalpitam lokam nayati.
Yata sankalpitam lokam nayati.
Yachittas. Yachittas. Tena eshaha pranam ayati. The mind, with the intellect which is there. Okay, now this new entity has come. Till now we were stopping at mana, but now we have come to buddhi, which is another name for buddhi is chitta. So now people are just talking about chitta. So firstly, you must understand that lists are never complete. They are a suggestion in the sense that they are partial. Okay. So now he has introduced chitta, which was part of mana earlier. It was not that it did not exist so far, but it was considered as part of mana only. Now he has separated mana and chitta. So in the ninth one, we said that all the indriyas, the dasha indriyas, went and they merged with the mind. Now the mind, which with everything merged, that merges with the chitta, with the buddhi, and that whole now this subtle body, that goes to the prana. So the soul which is there with this subtle body, in which actually prana is also there, But Pipalad wants to tell you about Udana, what its role is. Therefore, he is separating out Pran for the moment and saying all these things are now in the soul is surrounded by Chitta, which has Mana and the Indriyas merged into it. And they now are hooked onto this Prana, of which Tejasa Yuktaha. The Teja is Udana, as per the previous verse. So this all these things now, the Prana and all this, Prana actually Yukta with Teja, being combined with having Tej inside it. That means Udan being part of that Prana. Sahatmana, along with the Jivatma, it goes to the Yatha Sankalpitam Loke, and that is the same as Manopritena, whatever was done by the mind, and therefore it had predetermined already which loka the soul will go to. So you can say as if the mind only has determined which loka the soul will be taken to. So this now Udana takes it to that loka. Okay, so just telling you once again, recapping it for you. This mana has the indriyas merged into it. All the indriyas, they merge into the mana. This whole conglomerate merges into buddhi, including actually ahankar is also there only. So ahankar is also included in this subtle body. Sometimes ahankar is included with mana, sometimes it is included with buddhi. So